And I guess I mention all of that because if we're going to have a red wave,
right,
we need to make sure that the folks that are in Congress, that are in our state legislatures, et cetera, that they are doing the will of the people.
You know what? Then I think we need to talk to somebody who's going to be very involved in helping to create the red wave.
I know who you're calling. You're calling Mike Johnson.
I'm calling Mike Johnson. Congressman Mike Johnson from here in Northwest Louisiana, one of the most powerful Republicans in the House of Representatives. Congressman Johnson, welcome back to American Ground Radio, sir.
Hey, guys. Great to hear your voices. Good to talk to you.
So this commitment to America that the Republican Party, especially the Republican leadership, you're very involved with this. Steve Scalise is involved with this. What is the commitment to America? What is it that you guys are doing right now?
Well, look, we're going to try to recapture the magic that Newt Gingrich and the Republicans were able to bring about in 1994. We all finally remember the Contract with America days. The reason we remember it is because it was so effective. And what they did is about this time in that election cycle, they went to the American people and they told them not just what they were against, everything that Clinton and the liberals and the Democrat Party were bringing about on the country. They said what they were for and what they would do. And so that Contract with America became just that. The people bought into the idea, and they were able to recapture the majority for the first time in 40 years for the Republican Party. And we all know the story. They were very successful. They were able to check off all the boxes of those promises they made. And even Bill Clinton, he never saw the light, but he felt the heat, and he moderated and even worked with them for welfare reform and some other achievements. So
and
we're
frankly,
hoping to do that again. And
his moderation probably is what got him reelected somewhat in 96. I've been looking at plan.
No question.
You guys have four basic pillars to this: an economy that's strong, a nation that's safe, a future that's built on freedom, and a government that's accountable. First of all, the economy that's strong. How does that translate into actual policy?
Great question. Look, everybody knows that the economy is going to be the number one driver in this election. The people are feeling the pain of this inflation, and it's all brought about by the team in charge, unified government, the Democrats in charge of the White House and both houses of Congress. So we are going to bring about legislation, policy changes, and a shift so that we can fight inflation and lower the cost of living for everybody. We all know we have to work on the policies related to energy, and that's really important to us in Louisiana, of course. So we have to reduce gas prices and make America energy independent again. We were energy dominant under the Trump policies, but we've gotten so far away from that. And, of course, part of that, too, is strengthening our supply chain and ending our dependence on China. That's a central threat to our country, and we have to take it seriously. So you're going to see measures under that prong of the plan to go after all those markers, and if we have a big enough red wave, we'll be able to do it.
The second thing on this list, a nation that's safe, really encompasses, as you mentioned, the things that are most important to people in this election: inflation, the economy, that type of thing. Right after that comes immigration and crime, and you guys talk about that under a nation that's safe.
Well, exactly right. I mean, first and foremost, everybody knows that open border has created so many crises for us on every front. So we have to secure it. We have to combat this flood of illegal immigration that we have, and everything that's come along with that. Whether you're talking about the fentanyl crisis, I mean, fentanyl overdoses is now the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 49. It's directly related to the open border because it's produced in China and trafficked in here by the cartels. They're having their way, and they're killing innocent Americans. And so we're going to work on that. We're going to end the catch and release loopholes and require a legal status to get a job and eliminate welfare incentives that are bringing all these people over the border. And obviously, we've got to reduce crime. We have to protect public safety. The Democrats are all on record as wanting to defund the police and disrespect the police. That's what's wrought the chaos that we have right now. So we're going to institute exactly the opposite policies. And in fact, we're committing to support 200,000 more police officers around the country by offering recruiting bonuses and the like. We've got to get serious about this if we're going to get on top of it, and that'll be a top priority.
Okay, so Mike, lots of folks feel like, to some degree, that Republican leadership, present company excluded, has abandoned them. You know, there's a lot of folks that say that some members of Congress aren't supporting their conservative values. How does this contract or this commitment to America, how does it bring maybe some, not rhinos, so to speak, but certainly those that may not be as conservative as others, how does that bring them all onto the same page?
Well, I'll give you a little inside baseball. As a member of the House leadership team, one of the things you've got to do is make sure. Let me give you a football metaphor, because we're in Louisiana. Everything's either a hurricane or a football metaphor, right? When you take the field, you got to be ready to run your plays, right? And part of that is leadership, it's coaching, it's the team captains, it's letting the members know what their role is, what position they're going to play on the field, so to speak, and what plays they're responsible for. And so doing all this organization on the front end is a way to make that really effective, to let everybody know what their job is, what's expected of them. And I have some real hope that we're going to be able to do that well. It's one thing Newt did well. He told me one time, just he and I were talking, he said, you know what, the thing about governing in a majority is, if you don't give the members a rabbit to chase, they'll create their own. So, I mean, it's leadership 101 in any organization, right? So Part of that is the organization on the front end, and we've got a lot of plans for that.
Mike, we have about a minute left. You talk about Newt Gingrich. I've been looking at this plan. There's only one thing that I think is missing. Newt Gingrich was the last Speaker of the House to put out a balanced budget, and all spending starts in the House. I don't see anything in this about a balanced budget, but if you guys really are trying to recreate the magic of Newt Gingrich, doesn't the budget have to be in there somewhere?
Well, absolutely. I'm one of the biggest advocates of that, and I've signed on to balanced budget amendment proposals and the rest. And the RSC, the Republican Study Committee, the group I used to lead, we produce a budget every year. We have one that would balance in 8 years. And so we're going to push that aggressively, because a $30 trillion and counting national debt is not sustainable, and it's going to crush us. We say China's a big threat. The national debt is the largest threat that we have as a nation. So it'll be a top priority, I promise you.
Congressman Mike Johnson, thank you so much for being here with us on American Ground Radio. And, of course, I like the plan. I've looked at it.
Absolutely.
I like the plan, and I'm hopeful that you guys are able to push this big wave, and more importantly, that you're able to push the country back towards the right.
Thank you, guys. We'll be talking about it all along the way.
And you're welcome here anytime.